Okay, so hi dear all, this is Anju Gaur. You can call me Taro Anjali, the modern sannyasini, Prem Sanyogita, whatever you feel like. I'm here for you guys, okay? So today we are going to talk about trauma bond. I have to write the points in my phone, otherwise I keep on forgetting in between. So I will look into my phone few times. Just bear with me because this is how I make the videos. Because I want to keep them raw, pure, and unadulterated by anything mixed up from anything else, okay? So wow, just got a message from somebody I was not expecting to hear from. Anyways, so what is a trauma bond actually? Let me tell you that trauma bonds are highly addictive kind of connections where the victim is kind of justifying the abuser's behavior. Even if you're a victim, you can't let go of this connection because it's so addictive. There are highs and there are lows, and it's like a relationship where you get abused, where you get used, where they might like even hit you. They keep on torturing you mentally, emotionally, maybe physically too. It's like, and then followed by the act of kindness, love bombing, and making you feel like, oh, you are the like true love of their life. But whatever they do is just sometimes they just do it. So it's like the relationship between the abuser and the victim becomes so addictive that the victim feels that this is what they need in their life. Even if this is the most toxic relationship, they can't just let it go because they love them. It's not love, honey. This is trauma bonding, where even if you know you are suffering, your soul is suffering, nothing good is happening, nothing good is ever going to happen. You always remain in this constant, what we call that. Oh, oh, my nose pin is about to. Just give a second. So there is the victim is continuously suffering from inside, but they are still stuck in this connection because they think that they are so much in love they cannot leave the person, they can't even imagine their life without them, right? So this generally goes like 15 days of abuse, wrong behavior, very manipulative behavior, and then maybe followed by 6 to 7 days of love bombing and a lot of care and a lot of this energy of I want you to be with me, I do this and that because I'm going through this and that. That kind of connection where the victim and the abuser, especially the victim, is so addicted to the abuser they can't just leave them even if they want to. That is known as a trauma bond, where you are in a relationship just because you cannot survive without the connection. It's so addictive. This is just like an addiction of cocaine. This is just like addiction of some alcoholic substance, right? I know this can happen to so many of us. Okay, maybe I was in a connection at some point of time like this. I don't remember, but yes, let's see. I'm going to tell you now the 10 sure signs that you are in a trauma bond and you should leave immediately, because only you can help yourself, nothing else, no one else is going to do that for you. First is you justify their abusive behavior. You keep on justifying their abusive behavior, maybe not to others but to yourself, that they are doing certain things, they are behaving like that, they are behaving like an asshole because they are going through so much in their life, they have inner child wounds, and they have a stressed office work or something like that. You justify their behavior. You feel like, okay, whatever they are doing is actually right, but it's okay, it's okay to be in such a connection or to behave like that. It's just normal. You justify this. The person who is a victim, the victim, I'm not talking about you. The victim justifies the behavior of the abuser. You Second is you feel really addicted to the highs and lows, because when the highs are there, they are so good, they're so beautiful, that you completely ignore the lows. The highs, when the love bombing is there, when the care is there, when they show you that they care for you, they want to be with you, you mean to them. The highs are so beautiful that you ignore the lows completely. You just get addicted to the highs and lows of the connection, just like we get addicted to some kind of again alcoholic substance or something like that. I was addicted to sweets, I was addicted to sugar at some point of time, so badly that I was not able to survive without sugar or sweets even one day. So I can highly understand this, okay? Third is you cannot imagine your life without this person, even if you know that this relationship or this connection is not good for you. Even if it is terrifying, even if it is impossible for you to stay with them, you just cannot imagine your life without them. Right? Yeah. Fourth, you always try to avoid the uncomfortable conversations, the important communications. You're always walking on the eggshells. You feel like you should not make them angry. You should not hurt them. Because if you are going to hurt them or if you are going to make them angry, it's going to hurt them, it's going to bother them, and that's going to lead to some kind of miscommunication or some kind of issue again. So you are walking on the eggshells and you are trying to avoid everything that's actually good for you in order to keep the peace, keep the connection going. Fifth is you are isolated from your friends and family. You are no longer invested in any friends circle, in your family, or maybe your work even. You just leave your work too. You make the abuser so important in your life that your world revolves around them, right? That's the fifth sign. Sixth sign, you confuse the intensity of the connection with intimacy. Sometimes, even if we are in a very abusive connection, we feel the intensity of the connection is like I was talking about the highs of the connection. When we are in a high, when we are in the high time period of the connection, we feel like we are so intimate, we are so beautifully connected, we are soulmates. I don't know what is wrong. I don't know why I face challenges. See, when we are good, we are so good. We completely neglect the worst part, the nightmares that we face because of this situation, and focus on the positives, right? And we give that the name of intimacy. That's bullshit. That's not intimacy. That's your fear of losing that person, because again it's a trauma bond and it's addictive, and you give that the name of soulmate. This is not soulmate, this is trauma bonding, and this is completely bullshit kind of a theory that I love them. No, we are in a trauma bond. They don't, even if you maybe love them, that the person is not loving you. This is not love at all. I'm sorry to burst your bubble if you are in one. You blame yourself for everything that happens in this connection. You never even try to blame that person. And even if you try to blame that person, they will manipulate you to think that you are the one to blame here. You are the one who did something wrong here, and you are the one to, resolve the issues. So you take the blame on yourself, and you are in the self-pity mode. You are in this energy of, oh my God, I am the one who messed up. They are right on their part. I know their behavior. They're abuser. They hit me. They maybe they don't hit you like that. They manipulate me emotionally. Typical narcissistic behavior this is, where the victim is continuously feeding their ego, feeding their energies by giving them validation from their side, and then calling it fate or destiny. Oh, this is my fate, this is my destiny, but they love me. The person who loves you. Have you ever seen your mom or dad? If you were in a loving relationship with your mom or dad, or maybe both of them, you will know the true meaning of true love. Okay, I'm so sorry, because I want some of you to understand the points here, to get out of this immediately, because this is not going to resolve on its own. You have to take a stand for yourself, walk away, and never look back. I'm so sorry. You feel guilty. Eighth is you feel guilty when you try to leave. Yeah, because you feel like, okay, they are dependent on you. You can only give them the kind of love that they want. They were abused in childhood. They have gone through so much in their life. Instead of them taking the responsibility of their life in their own hands, you are taking the responsibility of their healing too. And this is the worst that you can do for yourself, with yourself. This is lack of self-worth and lack of self-love. That is why you are still in that connection, because might be you have never got the love that you want, and might be you sincerely love this person, who knows. But when you face these kind of issues or these kind of situations, you should understand that they don't love you. Even if you're going to give your life to them, they are going to find another victim. If you are going to leave, they're going to find another victim. They're not in love with you. They are just in this in love with the fact that somebody is feeding their ego, somebody is doing everything from their side in order to be with them, and they keep on playing the game. You are not actually helping them. You are creating the worst case scenario here for yourself and for them also. Hmm? Mhm. Ninth is you suppress your emotions. You keep your things to yourself. Even if you feel very unsafe, even if you feel like, okay, I should talk to this. This is the same point, I guess, I told you guys about communication, but a little bit difference is that you just suppress your emotions from the core. You don't express yourself fully, and you don't feel that. Yes, might be from time to time you feel the urge and the desire to express yourself, but mostly you suppress your emotions because you feel if you are going to do that, it's going to trigger them, and then it's going to be a shit show again. You don't have any say in the connection. Okay, you just go with whatever they say, you just do whatever they say, you just make yourself like a doll, and whatever they say is right for you. Okay, last is you try to leave them, but you always come back. You try to leave them multiple times, but you don't have the courage and the strength to leave them again, because it's an addiction. The highs and lows of this connection keeps you addicted and hooked to this connection. But you tried so many times to leave the connection, but you always come back, and or they always pull you back. Yeah, you are not able to take a stand for yourself. So, what is the reason that trauma bonds form, right? I told you the 10 signs, the short signs that you are in a trauma bond. What is the reason? See, the constant highs and lows, okay? It's psychologically proven if we are addicted to something or someone, we are always addicted to the highs and lows that we get from that thing. So for example, you are addicted to some kind of substance. When you are taking that substance, you are feeling very high, and you're enjoying your life and you're dancing and everything. When you are not able to take that drug or that substance, you are continuously feeling low. This is the same kind of addiction that we feel in a connection, right? So trauma bonds forms because of this high and low and addictive kind of energy. First thing. Second, extremely low self-worth. When you're extremely low in self-worth, you are kind of in a connection where you are finding yourself like, okay, this is what I deserve. This is the kind of love. Maybe I deserve this kind of love. Maybe I will be able to change them. Maybe I will be able to heal them someday. Maybe they are going to be fine someday. Living in the maybes continuously and trying to be their god or their savior or their energy of like, yeah, they will change someday, everything is going to be fine. If you are in a connection for more than 6 months and they're not changing, or their behavior is constant or continuous like this, they're never going to change until unless they are going to take the conscious decision of changing themselves. They're not going to change because of you. They're going to change when they want to or when they feel like they should. But mostly 90% of the time, the narcissists and the people that are kind of these kind of people, they never change or they never bother to change, because they always have their other victim ready, you know to play with. And then the third is unhealed childhood wounds. Okay, might be you were having a very abusive connection with your mom or dad, or might be something happened in childhood, right? And especially if you had emotionally unavailable parents or caregivers, or you never got the love in your childhood, you end up attracting these kind of connections in your life. Okay, these are the reasons that you might attract trauma bonds or form trauma bonds whenever you're in a relationship. You might end up attracting these kind of connections all the time. Most important factor here is the lack of self-worth and lack of self-love. And maybe unresolved issues, unresolved wounds. And then how to heal. Healing starts with awareness. First of all, you have to understand that you are in a trauma bond, because most people don't try to understand the fact that they are in a trauma bond, and they should be aware of this factor that now it's time for them to walk away and move on. Okay, awareness is the first step for healing. Then support. Take support from a healer, a therapist, a psychologist, a friend. Maybe start from here. They can help you to pinpoint the exact exact situation, exact reason, and they will tell you how to heal, how to go step by step. Okay, setting boundaries and going totally no contact. Setting boundaries and going totally no contact is also going to help you. You have to have the strength and the courage to never go back and never look back. It's going to take you a lot of courage and lot of strength, because this is a severely addictive kind of energy that you're dealing with. You have to let it go. It's going to take a lot of time, but you have to make up your mind and you have to stick to the decision. Okay, and last but not the least, you have to learn how healthy love is very boring, very boring, I'm telling you. It's so boring. You feel like, okay, what the hell, why everything is so peaceful, so calm. In today's world, being in a peaceful or calm environment is kind of not like recommended. I mean, not loved by a lot of people, because they are so used to chaos and conflict. So healthy relationship is very boring. It's like a relationship between a father and a daughter. They know that both of you exist. Both of you just want to take care of each other, love each other unconditionally, and just be there for each other. Okay, it's not about all roses and going on dates and and just fucking around all the time, and having a very passionate relationship. That also passionate can also be there, but it's very boring. With time, it's going to become like a connection with a mother or father, a healthy relationship with a mother or father. Hmm? That's how healthy relationships are. Yeah, I can know. I know, and I can understand, like, the constant highs and lows. Okay, I have to warm my tea now. Heat my tea, warm my tea. What we call that? I don't know. I am very poor in grammar, so just ignore my grammar. I'm able to tell you guys whatever I want to, so I'm good to go. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you soon in the next video with the topic of narcissist, how a narcissist behave, and signs that you are in a narcissistic connection, and how to recover from that kind of connection, how to let it go. So, and then we are going to talk about codependency, then karmic connections and soulmates, and a lot of stuff is coming ahead. So share this video with somebody who needs it, and share my channel link to somebody who need it, because we are going to do a lot of healing stuff, lot of spiritual stuff, Ho'oponopono, inner child, shadow work, Osho meditations, lot of things are coming your way. And with you guys, I am also evolving. It's not like I know each and everything. I read about each and everything before making any video, and I then add my experiences, my wisdom, my knowledge, according to the readings I have done, according to the healings I have done, according to the experiences that I have gone through personally also, and with my clients also. So that's why I can share the raw and raw and pure form of videos with you guys. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have to say to you. And I am also evolving as a person, as a soul, and I want, if any one of you, even if one of you is getting help from these videos, my work is done here, my job is done, and Osho's job is done. I love this man. But anyways, God bless you. Namaste. Sending you a lot of love and healings. Bless you.